Alright, so this video, I wanted to make some clarifications to some of my supporters out there, people that watch my videos and have been following me through these years. I've changed a lot through that time, and I feel that I've grown, become wiser, more mature, and just a better person. But I think some people are maybe confused because of some recent videos I put out there, challenging certain people, or just kind of wanting to engage in full contact sparring, or being open to engage in full contact sparring, even being open to engage in real fighting, and even potentially be willing to die over a greater cause, you know. But it's just something in me that's pointing me towards this direction of expression. I just feel that there's a greater purpose for me here in what I'm doing. I feel at this moment I'm living my truth. I feel at this moment I'm living like everything that's happened so far, you know, meeting you, connecting with you, for example, and finding love, true love, and growing the way that we've grown together. It just makes me have no fear in a way, you know, and it kind of brought me to a level where I feel like transcended from fear, you know, and to basically represent what I want to represent in the martial arts, which is really to carry on with Bruce's work and represent true martial arts in its purest form, you know. And Bruce Lee was all about, you know, like real combat in the streets, and that's what I want to represent within the martial arts, where it's real fighting, no rules, potential death, maybe, or if not, but just the science of combat. I want to represent a high level as far as gaining people's respect that this person is truly skilled and talented in what he does. He is a great artist. He is somebody who is worth following, worth listening to, and it takes a lot of years of hard work, decades of hard work to represent that. And martial arts is a physical expression, and it's part of it is a combative expression, part of it is a meditative expression, part of it is a fitness, athleticism expression. And it doesn't come easy, you know. Like if somebody is a great dancer, then it's only natural for you to want to see them dance. You know, somebody is a great singer, it's only natural for you to want to hear them sing. But a martial artist, because we live in this type of culture where people are so fixated and they view fighting to be so important in the martial arts. I feel that, you know, I have to stand up and let people know that, hey, you know, I am capable in this area, you know, and I've been working really hard, and I want to represent a high level in this area, and I want to be respected in this area, you know. And my respect that I'm trying to gain from the people is not out of greediness or money or just attention and fame just because, but it's more so to be able to reach out to the people out there, to a great amount of people, you know. Because honestly, you know, how many people would have respected Bruce Lee if he wasn't good at what he did, if he wasn't a great martial artist? How many people would have respected Michael Jordan if he didn't win 6 championships? How many people would have respected Muhammad Ali if he wasn't considered the greatest in boxing? How many people would have respected Mike Tyson if he wasn't one of the greatest? You know, and you know, how many people would respect Usain Bolt if he didn't win all those gold medals? You know, like, we live in a culture where proving yourself is so important for the people, and according to the spirituality and meditation in the martial arts, it's not supposed to be about that, but this is the culture we live in. And you know, I want to be humble. I want to be the one who just like, you know what, I don't want to deal with any of that. I'm just going to go my way. I want to be that, and that's what I've been for, you know, for a long time. But something's drawing me out and say, you know what, you know, you need to let people know that you are capable too. You know, that you are good at what you do. And standing up for myself and letting people know that, hey, you know what, I am good, I am capable, and I'm willing to even prove it, in which to gain respect, in which it could greater provide me opportunities to reach out to various segments of the population. Rather than only being restricted to the spiritual, meditative, and humble people that already see me for who I am and respect me already, there's going to be a great masses of people who want to be proved. They want proof. So many people want proof before they follow. And all I'm basically saying is that I'm willing to provide that proof. You know, in a sense of where the better that I get at what I do, in sparring and meditation and fitness, the more people that I could challenge to see if they could outdo me in this certain expression, in which to gain their respect by showing them firsthand that I am capable and I deserve respect. You know, and like I said, it's not even about the money, but it's just opening up the opportunities for people to learn from me, rather than just writing me off or just discarding me as just another fake martial artist that acts as if he knows and acts as if he's capable when he's really not. Because I've been training for this long, I've been doing it for this long, and I know I'm capable. And I honestly feel that I can protect myself, even in a real fight, against many people out there. And then I can be put in a position where I can determine how much damage I want to inflict upon my opponent or my sparring partner, and control the situation in order to demonstrate to the people that what I practice is real. Yes. You know, that I'm not hiding behind anything. I'm not using stunt doubles. I'm not choreographing fight scenes to make people react in a certain way so I could make it appear as if I'm good at what I do when I'm not. You know, I'm not a Hollywood actor who's trained in martial arts techniques for only 3 months and they go in there beating up the whole world. I mean, the Hollywood has turned into what it is right now, which a lot of people don't respect because they know that these people are not authentic in what they do. And then there's the cage fighting, which is very popular right now, where they're trying to claim something real, which is not real. Yes. I want to represent the real, like where it really is authentic, pure fighting with no rules, and just a pure expression of it. And that's just, I just feel that this is the time for me to do
it. Some of the concern is, number one, the harm that might come to you in doing this type of contact. And another is, you know, it does seem to be the complete opposite of what you were teaching, you know, before. And, you know, in a conversation that we just had, one of your students expressed her fear and how she felt that it was like the world influencing your decision in moving in this aspect. I admit that, you know, I don't like the thought of any harm coming to you, not even in the full contact safe sparring that we do here. However, at the same time, I do recognize that in order to reach a certain audience, that you do have to show that what you teach, what you practice, what you live, that it is effective, that it is effective combat training, that it is effective in having to protect yourself, you know, against an attacker, that it is effective in defending your family and defending your life. It was something that I remember you teaching about Bruce Lee, about, you know, he was very spiritual, was very meditative, very intelligent man. However, no one would know who he was or what his legacy is if he did not use the energy and the power of his combat style. That is what got him the attention. And once he was able to really grab hold of that attention through the combat, he was able to also teach and expose people to his meditative lifestyle, to the spiritual lifestyle, to the theory that he has in how he lived his martial arts, what his kung fu was, what it is. And you know, and it's very relevant to the way that things are today, because right now what grabs people's attention is brutality. What grabs people's attention is true fighting, true skill. Is it really effective? It's not just being meditative. It's not just about being humble. And so it's very relevant. What you're doing, the transition that you're making, it helps to show the relevance in what you're teaching. The relevance, the effectiveness, the practicality in what you're teaching. You know, and it was something that that another one of your students said, where she said, you know, the way that you were in the past, I mean, that's how you should always be, because you know that it's effective. And yes, it is. Being meditative and being spiritual, being whole, being strong, being fit, having the skill is very effective. However, times have changed. And so what's happening is, you know, you may not grab the audience that is all about the MMA fighting, the brutality behind that, or even the whole Hollywood thing. May not grab their attention because they're not about meditation. They're not about spirituality. You know, I was talking to her about Martin Luther King and his "I Have a Dream" speech. And back then, in the 60s, when he gave that speech, it was relevant because a lot of what he spoke about, it wasn't in existence yet. You know, equal rights for people of color, being able to interact with all peoples of color, to have the same rights, to have the same say, to have the same power in using their word, you know? But if he gave that speech, if he delivered that same speech today, it wouldn't be as powerful, because we've accomplished some of the things that he said he had a dream about, you know? And so I had to look beyond my fear and look at where you are the same way. There was a time where, you know, ego may have led you, and, you know, you were very forthright. And then there was a moment where you had a time out, and you had time to really focus on self and grow in your wisdom and in your peace and in your meditation. And right now, that's where you are. You're still passionate, you're still skilled, you know, you're still on fire, but you've been really teaching us about meditation in our lifestyles, you know, and being skilled in combat, but not really focusing so much on that. And where I see you going right now is you're bringing both of those forces together. You're bringing the aggression and you're bringing the wisdom together. You're using the aggression and the skill of your combat to draw in the people who would not be drawn into you otherwise. So like with Bruce Lee, he drew in the people who would be attracted to the fight, you know? And once he grabbed their attention, he was able to expose them to the rest of the truth, which was the meditation, spirituality, harmony, humility, what true humility is, what true kung fu is. And so the transcendence that you're going through yet again, I believe that that's why it's happening, because there is another group of people who may not hear you any other way. But because you are where you are right now, you have the skill and the wisdom to be able to educate them once you grab that attention. So I don't see it as an ego thing at all. I think it's very wise. It's a great method to capture people who may be lost. They just may be stuck in the brutal combat of MMA fighting or just boxing, without full understanding that there is another part of life that helps to balance that out so that it doesn't destroy you. And, you know, like I said, I'm not crazy about the idea of, you know, possibly sustaining injury or anything like that. But I trust you, you know, your students trust you, you know, and we also trust that you will make wise decision as, you know, as to whom it is you're going to engage this type of, you know, combat or fighting, who they are. You know, it's just not going to be just anyone, but in making wise choices even in this new place where you are. You know, so I see it as very effective. You know, we know and feel that you are very skilled and that what you do is very effective. So, you know, I guess, wow. Do you have any idea as to, you know, how you would invite anyone to come in to engage in that type of, you know, fight or sparring? And have you already formulated a way to make sure that it's not something that would result in severe injury? Because that's going to be the question. You know, do you already have an idea, you know, as to whom, and where there are no rules, still maintaining a space where, you know, you will both walk away, you know?
Well, I mean, I've been engaging in safe sparring since I've opened the school, and I've met a lot of different people. The only difference would be this level would be obviously not safe sparring. It wouldn't be labeled as safe sparring because it's not going to be safe anymore. You know, it's going to be real fighting. So full contact, right? That's the potential of where it could. That's an option that where it could lead to. And basically, I put out invitations to people. First off, people that support me, people that want to learn from me. I've already invited them to say, hey, you know, when you come to Chicago, we could do some safe sparring for free, get involved. And pretty much you make as much contact as you feel comfortable.
Yes.
If they want to do medium, then that's what we'll do. But I also started to invite people that don't like me and say, I will engage with you as well. And we could do more of a, you know, real fighting. It could happen here or it could happen out in the streets. And even to the point where I even said, hey, you know, depending on who it is, but like the McGregor guy, for example, you know, I was like, hey, you know, I'll fight him for real and even willing to die over it. You know, like it sounds crazy, but to me, like that to me is something where I would feel it would be worth it. You know, I don't think I would die. I actually think I would overcome him. That's what I think in a real fight. But basically, I want to engage in a way where whoever's coming through will work on what level that they want to take it to, and I want to be willing to match that, depending on who it is and the circumstances and all that. And there's no guarantee of what's going to happen because there are no rules, but essentially what ends up happening is you create your own rules. Yes. Like meaning, the way that I spar, the way that I fight, it wouldn't be to kill somebody unless I really have to. But it's like I know I have self-control based on the situation. And if I get in a position where I'm in dominance and control, I'm not just going to take a person's life when it's not necessary. But the person that is sparring or fighting against me can lose control, can be in anger, and essentially he can kill me, right? But at the same time,
we don't want to.
no, but at the same time, the realness of that is something that I want to represent, be willing to represent. You know, like it's just like these stuntmen, like not too long ago, I think it's The Walking Dead or something like that. One of the stuntmen died on the set. You know, he like fell from 20 feet or whatever, and he died. And they just made an article, oh, stuntman died, oh, let's move on with the next episode. Like, people die all the time doing what they love. You know, people die in motorcycle accidents all the time. People die in car crashes all the time. This is what I love to do, and to me, at this point in my life, I'm even willing to die for it. You know, and I don't think it get to that level. I really feel that I am good at what I do, and I will be able to protect myself. Even if that person is out of control, full of anger and rage, and he wants to kill me, in this type of no weapons involved combat, yes, I feel that I could defend myself, and I'll take care of him. And more than likely, I'm not going to kill him, but I'm going to make him surrender. So it's not that I'm going to kill that person. Even if he wants to kill me, he could try, but he's not going to be able to do it. You know, like I'm gonna be the one who's gonna come out on top. That's how I really feel. Now, I'm not saying, oh, you know, let's get in knife fighting, let's get in gunfighting, when that's not what I do. I mean, I do that, but that's not what I specialize in, like put all my energies in. And also, I know how the outcome will be. It's just 50-50 all the time, or you will get stabbed, you will get sliced. It's just a matter of when. You know, same thing with getting shot. You can play with Nerf guns all day. Don't tell me you're never going to get shot. You will get shot. Just with Nerf guns. Imagine real guns. I'm not talking about these gangbangers who shoot guns at each other, drive-bys and all that. I'm not talking about stabbing people. I'm not talking about hitting people with a baseball bat when they're not paying attention, hitting them in the back. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like real scientific martial art combat to test which techniques are effective and which ain't. No rules. Just go all out. I'm willing to engage in that. I'm not saying that I'm not going to provoke that. I'm not going to go out there talking trash to everybody. Hey, you know, I'll beat up the whole world. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that I'm willing to engage in that if that's what it takes to gain your respect. And I want to do it with you. Because there's so many people out there, they want proof that this person is a real martial artist, this person is a real person, this person is really good at what he does. All I'm saying is, okay, if you don't think I'm real, come right here, right now, and I will spar you as hard as you want to go. I'm willing to engage to that level with you. You know, I'm even willing to die. If you could kill me with your bare hands, I'll die. That's fine with me. But, you know, that person, does he want to kill me? If he can, you know, what does he have against me to want to kill me, right? So if he does get me in the ground, he starts choking me, and then I'm losing my breath, does he really want to kill me right there? Or does he want to let me go and be like, you know what, I got you, see? No ref needs to tell you to stop. You decide to stop. There's not going to be a ref. But does he want to kill me? I'm saying if he can kill me, if he could get me in the ground, choke me to death, go ahead and do it. But I tell you, I bet you can't. I'm just saying, I feel so confident in my abilities that that's not going to happen to me. If anything, I will be the one controlling my techniques to make sure that I don't injure him too much to show my mastery in what I do. Because I feel that I am really good at what I do, and I could take out a lot of people in this world, no matter the size or whatever the case may be. At least at this point in my life. And I really just want to put it out there that, hey, you know what? If you doubt, the effectiveness of what I do, or you doubt the reality of what I do, then just come here and do it with me and see for yourself. You know, it's not like necessarily a death match, but it can be. But it doesn't have to be that serious. To me, I liken it to, I said in my other videos, it's like liken it to playing chess, one-on-one basketball, just something like competitive, something challenging, and then somebody beats you 100 times in a row in chess. Don't tell me that you're better than him. He just beat you 100 times in a row. Somebody beat you 100 times in a row one-on-one basketball, or beat you 100 times in a row bowling, beat you 100 times in a row playing billiards. You have no choice but that at that moment, but just surrender and accept that this person, there's something to learn from him. So once I grasped your attention, once I finally gained your respect through what I do, my hard work, now can you open yourself up to the meditation, to the spirituality, to the humbleness, to the brighter things of the martial arts that's not all about the fighting. You know, I just want to let the people know, hey, you know what? I can fight too. Don't underestimate what I do, because I don't go out there just beating people up to prove anything. I just want to let the people know, hey, I can fight too, and if you doubt that, come here and let's do it. Whereas a lot of these, almost all these sport athletes that are getting paid thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, if not millions, to do what they do, they're not gonna take you in like that. They need at least 10 million on the table minimum to be able to engage with you, and then everything has to be strategically set up with proper marketing, and people have to watch, and it has to be nationally like no, like real fighting has nothing to do with all that glitz and glamour. Real fighting can happen at any time, at any moment. It can happen in your household with your sibling or your relative or your friend or your spouse, or it can happen right out there in the streets at any time. It can happen on the bus stop, in the train, anywhere, in your backyard. You can make the real fight happen. You don't need Dana White or the UFC organization or these elite people with all this money to arrange anything. And I just want to represent the real in the martial arts, because I see how long I've been on YouTube, and I see how much of following that I've gained. I'm not going to get much further sticking to this safe sparring stuff. People, they want to be entertained. They want to see something real. And all I'm saying is that I'm willing to offer that realness. I'm not saying it's necessarily going to happen, because really, like, who in their right mind wants to engage in this sort of combat? You know, they might want to go into the boxing ring or the cage, but who wants to engage in this type of combat in the streets? But that's what I'm saying, is that that's what real martial arts is to me. That's what I train in, and that's what I promote people to practice, is the real. Because once you know something is real, you're going to be more careful with how you deal with it. Especially when you got a real gun. You know that one wrong pull of the trigger could just end everything. Could end your life, could end your child's life, could end other people's lives. Somebody that gets a hold of that gun that isn't supposed to have it could commit suicide. Your child could kill somebody by accident. The realness of that weapon forces people to be more responsible in the moment of what they do. And real fighting is like that. It's not like so much of a game as combat sport is, where you can't just go 12 rounds, 3 minutes, and just go all out, do whatever you want to do. No, like, real fighting can end immediately within a few seconds. And that is something where it demands more responsibility, more maturity, and just basically, like, more wisdom in what you do. You know, and that's what I want to represent. I want to represent the real. And this is just what it's going to take to do that. You know, we talk about Martin Luther King Jr.'s time, giving that speech back then compared to now. Well, I talk about Bruce Lee's time. Back then, 40, 50 years ago, it was good enough to make those nice fight scenes and be in the movies. But nowadays, it's not good enough. Nowadays, martial artists can't even find a job in Hollywood anymore because they don't need them anymore. You know, they use stunt doubles. Now they don't even need stunt doubles anymore. They They used CGI and computer graphics. So they put the martial artists out of business in Hollywood. They put the stunt doubles out of business. Martial artists can't even get in Hollywood anymore. So now martial artists have to pretty much, some martial artists give in to the cage fighting, the sport fighting, to try to gain fame and for themselves and recognition and respect and whatnot. So they got to go that route. Either Hollywood's not even an option. Some people could get in the cage, but that's not even an option for everybody either. You know, so, but that to me is not living to the purity of the martial arts, because you're engaging in combat that's based on a set of rules, which is not too different than wrestling or boxing or any other combat sport out there. It's still revolved around rules. That's still not representing the purity of the martial arts. So in order to represent the purity, I want to say, let's engage in the no rules, full contact fighting or sparring, whatever the case may be. Yes, it is dangerous, but so is riding a motorcycle. So is even riding a bicycle. So is even driving a car. So is even flying in an airplane. You know, if you're really good at sparring, if you're really good at fighting, it's really not dangerous. Not for you, because you know how to protect yourself. It might be dangerous for the person that you're sparring, but if you're a good person, you will refrain even when you don't have to refrain. Even if the person gave you the go-ahead, hey, you know what, break my teeth if you can. You don't have to do it if you don't want to. You can be like, you know what, I know I could break your teeth. I know I can make you blind, because I could just eye jab you right there. But you know what, let me just kick you as hard as I can in the thigh, and then let's see if you give up after that. Oh, that's not enough? Okay, let me just hit you in the stomach as hard as I can. Let's see if that will make you give up. Oh, that's not giving you up. Okay, you might have to break his kneecap. But people break their kneecaps playing basketball, playing soccer, playing football. People tear their ACLs, that takes them out. You know, so like, it's just, why do people, what is the attraction to this sort of aggressive expression in sport and martial arts and combat? I didn't make this culture this way, but I see that the culture is this way, and I see that this is what people get, this is how people get respect. This is how people build themselves up. I wish it wasn't like this, but this is how it's like. And I'm just saying, if I want to grow to reach a greater audience in what I do, I gotta be open to engage in this sort of activities if I want to grow further than where I'm at right now. You know, but like I said, as far as a personal growth is concerned, I really feel that I could protect myself, defend myself. I don't need to worry about my own safety. You know, because I've engaged in this for so many times, for so long, that even if a person is really trying to hit me, they're not going to be able to hit me. And if they do, they're going to get something back even harder. You know, and I really feel that I will be able to engage in this sort of sparring or real fighting, and it'll be okay. You know, I just want to, it's like something real. I mean, it's like we have Nerf guns here, we got airsoft guns, we could go paintballing, but you know what, we got real guns too, and we train in that. So what I'm basically saying is, hey, we got safe sparring here, but we also got real fighting here too, if that's what you want to do. You know, like, I'll engage in that with you, you know, in order to take my skill sets to the next level as well, or in a way give them what they want. I mean, because there are some people out there that are sadists. Is it the people that are the people that like inflicting pain upon themselves? Yeah. You know, like there are some people out there that want you to break their teeth. They want the whole row of teeth missing. You break their nose, they're like thankful. You break their jaw, that's what they want. There's some people out there that are like that. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm just like, hey, you know, if that's what you want, okay, we could do that. It'd be a great demo video to show real fighting within the school. You know, like, and then basically just show a side of the art that hasn't been expressed to that way. You know, because people are all about, nowadays, are about like this reality TV type thing. Those choreographed fight scenes back in Bruce's time aren't good enough for now. So back in Bruce's time, he's doing a 2-finger push-up. Well, that's not good enough now. You're gonna have to do some push-ups levitating from the air or something, or you're gonna have to do 1-finger push-ups or something more. You gotta always take it beyond what was expressed back then. So back then, you know, there was like 100-meter dash was ran at a certain time. Usain Bolt's got to beat that time in order to even get any respect. He's got to beat what happened in the past. So nowadays, people they're not attracted to the fake stuff that they see in those movies. They want to see real fighting. That's why UFC is so popular, because they want to see people engaging in real, like something that's they want to see like more real. And I'm saying, hey, you know, let's take it beyond the cage and let's do what really is real, which really has no rules. But who's gonna want to engage in that? I don't know, but I'm just saying, I'm willing to pretty much live up to the standard of which I want to live up to. You know, I made an example, just like the point of where, you know, I decided to be a police officer for a reason, and does it make sense for you to get paid $60,000, $70,000 a year, and then all of a sudden you die in a shootout? Does it make sense? Like, but at the same time, you still sign up for the job because there's something in you leading you towards helping people in a certain way while putting your own life at risk. So I'm pretty much saying, hey, you know what? I'll engage in this sort of combat in order to prove that, hey, you know, I'm willing to risk my life or my safety in order to pretty much become a greater authority within the realm of the martial arts in order to reach out to more people, you know, in which to kind of do what Bruce Lee did for me. You know, he had to do a lot to get into Hollywood. A lot. You know, he sacrificed a lot. And in the point, he pretty much gave up his life to become Bruce Lee. He worked without sleeping, you know, or like barely any sleep, barely any food. Pretty much worked himself to death to become Bruce Lee. It's not easy to get to that level. So I can't expect it to be easy for me to get the same amount of respect that he did while just sitting at home and just be like, you know what? No, I won't fight, or I won't spar that hard. I want to protect myself. It's like, I want to take it to the next level. I want to be seen as one of the primary authorities in the martial arts, because I want to clean it up. Because there's just so much corruption going around, so much fake stuff. As I said in my other videos, so many people teaching that they shouldn't be teaching, so many things that are unregulated, that there needs to be some authority stepping in to provide some regulations to be like, no, this is the way it should be. Because right now, what's taking precedence is just like Dana White and the UFC trying to dictate what martial arts is, and I'm like, no, they ain't martial arts. I want to overstep that and be like, no, this is martial arts. You know, so if you got somebody like a multi-millionaire like Mayweather, you think he's going to want to engage in a real street fight? I mean, this guy's got all this fame, all this money. Why would he want to do that? Like, no, we'll stick to boxing. Okay, yeah, stick to boxing, but don't claim that you're practicing real martial arts, because that's not. Same thing with the cage fight. You think these cage fighters that are like McGregor or Ronda Rousey that has multi-million dollars gonna engage in a street fight for free where they jeopardize their own life? Why would they? Okay, stick to your cage fighting, but don't claim real martial arts. What I'm saying, real martial artists are in there, they get their hands dirty, and they might possibly not live. The military, the police officers, the firefighters, the real martial arts. Real martial arts claim the real martial arts, they practice real martial arts, and they're not afraid to die. You know, like that's what I want to represent. Not necessarily saying that that's what's going to happen, but I'm just saying that's what I want to represent. I want to have no fear in what I do, and I want to be able to prove it. But like I said, not to the extent of shooting each other with guns and stabbing each other with knives. I'm just talking about unarmed combat, no rules. Doesn't have to be that dramatically insane. I mean, if you know what you're doing, it is not that unsafe. Not any more unsafe than riding a motorcycle. Honestly, being in a motorcycle, more chance of dying, especially when you see people riding a motorcycle on the highway, going as fast as they go. One little mistake, they're dead. I mean, that's just obvious. But people, you see people riding a motorcycle 80 miles an hour, 90 miles an hour on the highway. I seen the other day somebody riding a motorcycle doing wheelies on the highway. On a wheelie on a highway, you know what I'm saying? Like, people do some crazy stuff out there. People jumping over buildings that are like thousands of feet above the air, and they're jumping from one building to the next. I mean, I'm not gonna do stuff like that. I'm not gonna do that motorcycle stuff. I wouldn't even want to swim a mile because I'm not good at swimming. But I've been doing sparring for so long, I really honestly feel that it's not gonna be unsafe for me to engage in real fighting. And even the person that engages with me, you know, I don't think it'll be that bad for them either, because I have compassion.
Yes.
I'm not just gonna hurt somebody really, really excessively bad. For what? I already proved my point. So why would I need to ground and pound somebody unless I really have to, you know? Like, I just feel that this is the type of sparring and fighting that I'm ready for, and I just want to signify to the public that that's the type of reality-based training that we do here. And I just want to be, I might not be the most famous, I might not have that much money, but I want to be known to be, hey, you know, that dude was real. You know, I went over there, sparred him, and I couldn't even touch him. I really tried to hurt him, I couldn't hurt him. Like, that dude's real. Like, I want to be known for that. You know, like, somebody that is a real dude. You know, because there's nothing else for me to represent other than that. I'm not going to be going into no Hollywood movie. I'm not going to be stepping into no cage. This is my only way to prove myself as somebody real. You know, and I really don't feel that I'm jeopardizing my own risk and safety, because I feel that I'm good at what I do. If I was doing safe sparring and I constantly started getting hurt and I keep getting tagged, I wouldn't be offering real fighting with people. I can't even stay safe in safe sparring. But I've been doing well as far as protecting my own safety is concerned. I think I'm ready for the next level, which is real fighting. And, you know, I mean, like, I speak from the heart, and there's just something drawing me towards this. And I also realized that Bruce Lee was Bruce Lee because he had this Western energy in him that's very different from Jackie Chan and Donnie Yen and Jet Li. You cannot compare Bruce Lee to those three. Those three are very much more humble, non-competitive, very like respectful, just like they don't really have this urge to prove themselves as much. Bruce Lee was like a merge, was like the merge of the East and West, like almost like a total merge, where it's like he's meditative, but at the same time, if you disrespect him, he'll whoop your ass. Like, he just kind of has that energy. Like, he's not gonna take shit from people. You know what I'm saying? Like, he'll beat you down if you deserve it. He'll beat you down. Like, that's the type of energy that I want. Like, I want to have that, where I'm not hiding behind humbleness, hiding behind humility, and all that. Like, I want to be able to have respect from the people, and then at the same time still be compassionate, still be loving. But I want to represent the reality of combat. It's important for me, you know. And you mentioned it over there. I mean, it's important for the overall spirit of the martial arts, because you even mentioned it, that it's dying down. Yes. That people are just so fixated on this combat sport and all this fighting for money and profit, and people beating each other up and all this blood everywhere, that the true essence of the martial arts is dying. And to me, I feel that it needs a revival. We need another Bruce Lee to revive the real martial arts, to get people to see a different side of the martial arts, that's not just all about the fighting, but to have the spirituality, to have the meditation, to have the peacefulness. And my objective is to gain the respect and the recognition, so then people could pay attention and then also see the other elements of which is offered within this school and within my expression. The more peaceful expression. Me playing with my kids, or me sparring with my kids, or me sparring against somebody that just, a beginner student, or just seeing seeing women in the school that are progressing, and people laughing and just meditating, and just people of all different levels train together with no ego, no competition, but just an accepting atmosphere of family. But the element of realism, I feel it has to be there in order to get a percentage of the population that's just blinded by that, and that's all they see, just like you said. Yeah. People, all they care about is the fighting, and then I could draw them in through the fighting, and then eventually through the years they could kind of just see the other aspects and then grow greater in their consciousness. And I'm not forcing my students to engage in this type of stuff. I'm not hiding behind my student, be like, you know what, my student can beat you up, let me have my student. No, I'm taking responsibility for myself, my own growth, my own development, and engaging it within myself. I'm not getting my students involved. It's just me. Seeing my growth, my expression, and pretty much testing my techniques, my abilities, and at the same time expressing more of the complete art of it. Bruce Lee had his movies, but there's really very limited or almost non-existent footage of him engaging in sparring and things like that, and things that was more real spontaneous combat. And really, that's the direction that people go right now. Bruce Lee's not good enough, they replaced him with stunt doubles. Now stunt doubles aren't good enough, Hollywood's not good enough. Now the cage fighting's taking on the scene, and I'm just saying, you know what, what people want to see is the real stuff. And potentially nobody may ever walk through that door and want to engage in this sort of stuff. But at least people know that I'm not in fear of it, and that I'm willing to take it to that level. That it's not like I'm telling the people, hey, don't hit me in the face. Even if you can, don't hit me in the face because I don't want to look bad. No, go ahead, hit me in the face. Punch me in the face if you want to. Knee strike me, elbow me, do what you want to. Choke me out if you want to. But you're not going to be able to do it. And if you do it, you're going to jeopardize your safety too, because I'm coming right back at you. Just as hard or even harder. And then that's where the real fight is going on. Is that you got a real challenge ahead of you, and you're not going to be able to just do whatever you want to the person. And I'm not directing the people, don't do this, don't do that. Don't kick me in the groin area because that's going to hurt. Don't punch me in the nose because I don't want my nose broken. Don't punch me in the teeth because I don't want a missing tooth. No, that's not real. Alright, real combat is anything goes, whatever you want to do. If you can hit me, hit me. But I bet you won't be able to. I mean, that's real combat. And precision is just getting so good that the people, they keep trying to hit you, they can't hit you, and you keep striking them over and over and over again till they just can't take anymore, they just give up. Okay, that's it. And then they might go home with bumps and bruises. I don't want to break people's bones if I don't have to, because honestly, I don't want to be sued, and I don't want to, have the person be like, well, you're going to have to pay my medical bills, all that shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to have to pay that. So it's not into my favor to really hurt somebody. It really isn't. And I don't want to be in jail for the rest of my life for involuntary manslaughter either. So it's in my benefit to not hurt them too much, but just enough to prove my point. But at the same time, I want to give them the right to just do whatever they want to do to me, because I don't want to restrict their expression, because then it's not real anymore. Don't take me down to the ground. All right, my knee's hurting right now. Don't kick me in the knee. Oh, you know what? I got a headache, so don't punch me in the face. I mean, come on. You know what I'm saying? I don't want that. Like, go ahead, do whatever the hell you want to do to me. Whatever you want to do, let's go ahead and do it. But like I said, no weapons. You know what I'm saying? But it's just, to me, it's just a really fun game in a way that appears to be pretty risky for the onlookers because they don't do what we do. But if you practice it a lot, it's really not as dangerous as people make it out to be, as long as the people that are engaging have a good heart. Yes. So the people that are coming to my door, they might not have a good heart. They might really be trying to come get me. But at the same time, I'm dealing with that every single day because people come through the door. They could have guns. They know that, hey, you know, they know that I might have some money. They know that I drive a nice car. They can come get me anytime. There's people out there that are willing to kill me. They potentially could be willing to kill me for whatever reason. So I don't have to have fear. But somebody who comes that wants to engage in you know, unarmed combat, no rules, what's there to fear? I don't fear that. You know, like, it's not that, oh my God. I mean, when I go to the gun range, there's a stranger right next to you that's firing guns. Strangers right next to you firing guns right next to you. You hear the guns blazing. At any moment, any of them could just turn towards you and just off you at that moment. What, you just not go to the gun range? Like, I'm not in fear of that. I mean, it's just, whoever comes to that door, if they're really that good, and they really have the best of me, will they actually kill me? You know? So, I really don't feel that there's anything to fear. It's just more of like representing the real martial arts training and the expression of it, the respect of it, the authenticity of it, and just the purity of it. Like, you know, I know you're like big into organics. Like, don't call something 100% organic when it's not. And you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
like you've been eating organic your whole life. You're like, no, that is not 100% organic. It might say that, but I taste it. It is not. You know it because you've been eating 100% organic your whole life. You know. And that's kind of how I feel about this cage fight. Don't say that it's real when it's not. This is not real. Stop saying it's real when it's not. So I'm basically saying, hey, you know what? I'm willing to prove what real fighting is. And it's not that, but it's this. But it's just a matter of like who's willing to engage in this. Well, I'm willing to. I'm already willing to do it. So who else is willing to do it with me? And if there's nobody, okay, then nobody. But at least I put it out there to say that I'm willing to prove what's real. I mean, because I already put a lot of sparring videos out there where it's almost real, but it's still not real, but it's almost. Yes. But apparently, it's not good enough for people because people want to see the more than real. So what I'm basically saying is like, if you really don't think this is real, then you come here yourself, you engage, and then you decide for yourself how real it is. You know, because we could watch Bruce Lee videos all day, we could watch Mayweather all day, we could watch these cage fighters all day, but all you're doing is watching. Why don't you go in here and do it? So I'm pretty much trying to motivate people. You know what? Rather than saying, watching all these people, come right here, right now, let's do it with me, and you tell me if it's real or not. How many times do you need me to hit you in order to show you that this is real? You know? I mean, if they want to get hit a lot, then that's what we're going to do. And if they can hit me a lot, then great. Hey, I'm learning something too. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to be so arrogant to be like, you know what? Not to deny something. Somebody that's really good, I'm not going to deny them and say that they're not. So if they keep popping me in the head, I'll give them the respect. Be like, man, that's good. Let's stop right there. You're good, dude. You know what I'm saying? And I'll give him his props. I'm not afraid I can humble myself to do that. But all I'm saying is, hey, you know what? I might not be able to beat up everybody in the world, but hey, you know, the people that I can beat up, automatically, it's like I get the respect because they're like, hey, you know what? I can't even do, I'll do this person. There's got to be something I can learn from him. So if I could capture the attention and respect of just, say, 80% of the audience instead of just 20%, that extra 60%, there's so much that could benefit through what they could learn within the school outside of just the fighting. And I just want to be one of the primary people that are actually tuning into. Be like, you know what, this person deserves to be listened to. Because there's just so much garbage out there that if I don't do anything, and say I just don't even have no YouTube channel up at all, it's like, it's almost like Martin Luther King not even standing up for anything. Just playing video games all day and that's it. Martin Luther King Jr., play video games, dead. Or Malcolm X, you know, do nothing. It's like there's something drawing people to do something because we can't stop, we can't just sit around and be lazy and just comfortable. Like,
or ignoring the issues at hand.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I want to do this because I really feel that people, they need greater wisdom, greater enlightenment, greater awareness, and you know, Bruce Lee did a lot for me as far as intelligence and wisdom and meditation is concerned. I want to bring that same energy to the people. And it's just going to take a lot of hard work. And I want to introduce the people that actually respect me, introduce them to people like Osho, Lao Tzu, like sages, rather than just being led astray by these like money-hungry, greedy, egoistic, competitive, violent, non-authentic people towards just this nonsense. There's already enough of that. So if I don't do anything, it's just almost contributing to worse. And I know there's a saying out there where it's like if you don't do anything, it's just, you know, like there's something, you're doing a disservice. So, you know, like you walk around and you see a woman getting raped. I mean, you could walk past and do nothing, or you could help and you could try to do something, or at least maybe call the police, right? So I see all this corruption going on. I'm like, you know what? Something's in me to want to do something about it in a respectful way, because I don't want to offend people like I did in the past. And that's what you're helping me out a lot with, like trying to do something but not overcross certain things being said. But it's just like, even though I lost my YouTube channel and I wasn't supposed to get it back, even though I'm back on and I kind of promised I won't say anything anymore, still there's something in me that's saying, no, you got to say something, but at least say it in a professional way. Yeah. You know, like I'm not challenging people in a disrespectful way. I'm not angry at anybody. I'm just saying I want to represent the real in the martial arts, and I'm willing to engage in real combat if that's what you want to do. I'm even willing to die over it, because that's how real that I want to be. You know, because I don't know, some of my greatest inspirations growing up was Tupac and Bruce Lee. Tupac died at 25, Bruce Lee died at 32. And Socrates, for example, was a great inspiration to me as well, because he stood up for truth and he got killed over it. You know, and Martin Luther King Jr. is a great inspiration as well. Malcolm X is a great inspiration as well. They both got assassinated. I just am inspired by people that are willing to put their lives on the line for the greater truth. It's not that I want to die early either. I want to live until I'm 100 or more or older, but at the same time, I don't want to enclose myself in a shell and be in fear. I want to live like a fearless life, to just head towards the truth that I see.
I believe that, you know, in living your truth, that that is acknowledged, not only by people, but, also by, by God, by the great divine, and living in your true essence, being who you truly are, and living out your life's purpose. And, it's a scary thing, but, daily lives are risked. We are at risk because just anything can happen. And so it's my hope that that the true essence of, what martial arts is, what kung fu is, that it will be revitalized, that it will live on, and that, corruption happens in just about everything. In every facet of life, there is a corrupt something that is trying to inauthenticate or change or say that truth is not truth and that the lie is the truth. I mean, that happens. It transcends race, it transcends situations, So I just wish that more people, that they were more about the truth in every facet of life, not just in combat or martial art, but just in the artistry of life, period. So I thank you for sharing, and I thank you for your passion and for your teachings, and you're always praying for you, always supporting you, and just believe that you are doing great things and you'll continue to do so. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. There's a reason why we're just over there talked about it for probably 2 hours. Come back here, talk about it even more. There's just something about this that's important to me. So I obviously want to live longer. I want to be happy and be blissful. But martial arts is not, and it's not that easy. It's just there's a lot involved in it, and the combative element is a dangerous element, just like dealing with guns, and I want to be a martial arts master. I want to be one of the best to ever live,
Yes.
like who doesn't want to be the best that they can be, and I just want to recognize that this is not going to be an easy thing. Not anybody can just claim themselves to be the best, or one of the best, so I'm thankful that we could discuss this and put this video out there in which to share this element. But I hope that people don't get misunderstood, that I do highly value those principles of meditation and no ego, and just not challenging people in unsafe ways, or even challenging yourself in unsafe ways. But safety and health is very important in the training. That those are principles that I live by. And you even mentioned some injuries that you've went through in your training and what you do.
Yeah.
And you've been through some surgeries and things like that, and that's not a great thing to see. I don't want to get hurt, but at the same time, I know that the martial arts, in order to be considered one of the best, or one of the higher ups, you need to be able to live that and just demonstrate your mastery over something that you've been working so hard to do. Even that movie that we saw, Black Swan, you saw all the stuff that she was going through, just to try to be considered one of the best, and even dying at the end of the movie. Like, it's just it's a lot involved to be great at what you do.
I do have to interject on that point, because there is there is the element of hard work and training and dedication. However, at the same time, there is also self-care, balance, and consideration of well-being, you know. And the thing that I admire about you is that you've been consistent in your training for a very long time, for 20 plus years. And so it's not just about a person who is all of a sudden, oh my gosh, I have this chance to do this to make an impact. Oh, let me up my game, and now instead of working out once a week, I'm going to work out 7 times a week, doing 2-a-days. Like it's not about jumping into, going from one extreme to the other. It's being consistent. It's making it a lifestyle. And in making it a lifestyle, you find balance. You create safety. You come to truly know yourself, know your strengths and your weaknesses. You work on the weaknesses so that they become, strengthened, and you no longer have those weaknesses. And as you grow and go to the next phase, whatever weaknesses you see, those are the areas that you work on and that you focus on, while maintaining and sharpening the areas where you're proficient and you're good. So, just like in Black Swan, she was great. She was a great dancer, in the story. And however, at the same time, she was not balanced. She was not good. She was having hallucinations because of the pressure, because of the lack of balance, because of the lack of life, because of the lack of experience and wisdom. And this is the complete opposite of that, because there is wisdom there. There is balance there. And though utilizing the combative style and even the invitation to come and test out the skills of different martial arts styles and inviting people to come in so that you can spar or do the fighting, there is still wisdom and balance, strength and consistency there. So it's, we are at risk every day to lose our life, and that's why we are to be grateful and thankful for the things that we do experience. However, a part of our life-sustaining force is implementing our wisdom in our experiences so that we do not take for granted the beautiful life that we have. So as you move forward, I trust that the wisdom that you have gained over the years, that it is also guiding you, and that it will bring forth great education for those who you might not be able to reach, if you were unable to do the combat, and skilled enough to actually engage in a real fight with others who have been studying as well. So, yeah. This is good.
Yeah.
I'm hungry.
Yeah. All right.
That's good.
Just thank you for making this video for me. It means a lot. And, the overall purpose of what I'm doing, this is just a part of it. And I really don't think it needs to be that serious, but yeah, we'll see what happens. Will I ever get in a real fight? Who knows? It may never happen. So, that's fine. It's good to own a gun and never actually have to use it. This is a great thing to live a peaceful life. I want to be peaceful. I want to live a peaceful life, but I want to be authentic in what I do. And and I want to have no fear. In what I do. I just want to follow my heart with no fear, even when it comes to love.
Even in that.